Hi everyone, we're the Wilkinsons. Welcome back to our channel. We just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who has liked, subscribed, watched the video from last time. We were absolutely blown away by the response. We did it just for something to do and just a pastime, and you have absolutely supported us brilliantly. It's been fantastic, thank you so much. So today, we're back in the kitchen today, but just to let you know, moving forward, it won't just be about baking. We're going to do all different types of activities, crafts and things like that going on, but today we are back in the kitchen and we're going to be working on muffins. So Freddie named this video, didn't you, Fred? It's called All the Muffins, and we're doing a sweet muffin and a savoury muffin. The savoury muffin is going to be pizza muffins, which are really the best way to eat pizza, Hannah. Yeah. It really is. And the sweet muffins, the recipe I came up with this week for chocolate muffins, and they are out of this world good, so I hope you get a chance to bake along with us. Please remember, like and subscribe, share this please, and get us out there a little bit further. But first of all, obviously when we're going in the kitchen, what are the rules, kids? Freddie, what do we have to do?
Wash your hands.
Wash our hands. Harriet?
Always hand on hair bar.
Yep. George?
Make sure you have the right ingredients.
Yes, because you don't want to start a recipe and then get halfway through and realise you haven't got them all. But what's the most important rule with children in the kitchen?
Adult safe fishing.
That's the one. Yeah. We have to be careful, don't we?
Yeah.
Right, okay, let's go. Hi everyone, so George and Harriet are doing our savoury muffins today. So as I said, we're going to do pizza muffins. Basically, it's just using the muffin tin, pizza dough, rolled up and then shaped into muffin tins. They are literally the best way to eat pizza ever, right? We're just doing cheese and tomato ones, like margarita ones today, just for the sake of this video, but you can add pepperoni, chicken, vegetarian, whatever you want to do, you can put into these muffins, roll them up, and you'll see the process as we go along. So we've weighed out all the ingredients ready. So George, do you want to put 350 grams of strong white flour into the mixer? And for this video, we're using the dough hook. This just saves you hard working hands from kneading the dough. The machine does all the work for you. But if you haven't got one, obviously, that doesn't make a difference. You can just knead it by hand. So we need a teaspoon of salt, Harriet.
Okay.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the salt in with the flour, just to incorporate it in, because we don't want the salt to touch the yeast straight away when we put it in, because that will kill your yeast. Always keep your salt and your yeast separate for as long as possible. Now we've already weighed out, so this is 7 grams of dried action yeast. Do you put that in, George? And we've got 25 grams of softened butter.
25.
We've cut this into little chunks just to enable the butter to soften faster.
Here we go.
Yep. Okay. Now we need 2 teaspoons of caster sugar. Do you want to do that one, George? 2 teaspoons, this one here. Right, we're going to give this a mix first before we put the wet ingredients in, just to make sure that everything blends well together.
Which is water and oil.
Yeah. Right, so as you can see, I've added most of the water and I've got just a tiniest splash left, and it's starting now to come together and take all the dough up. Now, if you've got a machine, like I said, just let the machine do the work. When the dough comes together, let it knead for about 10 minutes in the machine. If you're doing this by hand, just mix it together in a bowl until it all comes together, and then you want to take it out on a lightly floured surface. Try not to overflour it, and knead it for a good 15 minutes. Right, so the dough has been in the mixer with the dough hook, and it's been kneading for about 10 to 12 minutes. Now, how do we know it's ready, Harriet?
Where you press it lightly and then it springs back up.
Yeah, so that is now ready. So it's been resting there now for about 3 minutes. We're going to leave it for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to transfer it into a clean glass bowl. I've put a little bit of olive oil in there, and that just helps the dough to rise and not get stuck to the sides of your bowl. So then put that in there, and then we'll cover it with a clean tea towel and just leave it somewhere warm for an hour so it can prove up and rise up, and we'll be back once it's proved. Right, so going to move on to the sweet muffins now. This is a recipe that it's my own recipe, and I've been practicing over the years, and I feel like I finally perfected it. So we'll see, won't we? I made them the other day and they were really nice though, so hopefully we'll be getting a good batch again today. The key with muffins is the batter should not be over mixed. If you do that, you'll end up with a really dense, really dry muffin. And to get the muffin top, you know what looks like a mushroom, is to bake them first at a higher temperature, then tiny temperature down, but we will go through that as we go through. Right, so you ready, boys?
Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, we've got 180 grams of self-raising flour, and again, because we want the muffins to be really light, we're going to put everything through the sieve.
Snow.
It looks like snow, yeah. It's the only snow we've had this year, though,
It's a
isn't it?
snow.
It's missed us. Right. So in this bowl, sorry, you say like that. It's fine. Good boy. Right. So in this bowl, I've got 50 grams of cocoa powder. We've got a Bourneville cocoa powder, that's the one I prefer, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So you do want to put baking powder or bicarbonate ideally through a sieve, just so you don't get any lumps in your batter. No. Right, come here. I'll show you. So if you've got any little last bits like that, just push them through with a spoon, and the ones that won't go through is the bits you don't want in there anyway.
The next ingredient we've got is 125 grams of caster sugar.
There we go. Come and pour that in, Freddie.
Where's the sieve?
You don't need the sieve for sugar.
Oh. Then the next thing you need is a pinch of salt.
I'll do this bit because we do not want too much salt in. The salt just brings out the flavour of the chocolate.
It smells really nice.
1 large egg.
Large egg, pour that in. Pour that in.
Then we need 240 mils of milk.
And that's it.
1 teaspoon of vanilla.
Which was already mixed in with the oil plate on.
Oh, and then you need 125 grams of vegetable oil, and you can mix it in together.
Right, let's get the rest of this out. Right, now we're going to mix this first.
A spoon.
Yeah, 1 minute, I'll tell you in a second.
Next,
Mix this first, and then we're going to add the chocolate chips.
we've got 150 grams of chocolate chips for more.
Pour them in. We've got 3 different types of chocolate chips. We've got milk, dark, and white. So that makes it a triple chocolate.
Then do we mix it in?
Yep, just gently fold them in.
Where's my
You can go in a second, then you can take turns. Do about 3 mixes, that's it. You do not want to over mix this batter. Right, let Freddie have a quick go. Right.
Mum, does it still need some lumps in?
Yeah, it's supposed to be lumpy, that's absolutely fine. Like I said, muffins are a very special batter. Alright, we definitely do not, I can't stress enough, you do not want to overmix this. Right, so we're going to use the trusty scoop, about a medium size ice cream scoop, to fill up our muffin tins and get them in the oven. So they do go into the oven. You need to preheat your oven for 220, so hot oven. When we put these in, we're going to scoop it into the tin, and then it'll go in the oven for the first 10 minutes at 220, and that'll give you your muffin top. And then you want to turn down the oven to about 170 degrees for the last 5-10 minutes. A good tip with the muffins is a little cocktail stick. Just stick them in the middle. When it comes out clean, you know that they're cooked. But what we also do is once they go into the tin, is we sprinkle the top with a few extra chocolate chips, and that comes up with a nice chocolate chip top, and it just looks gorgeous. Okay, so our pizza dough that we've made is now proved. We're going to reveal all in a second, but I just want to tell you a little bit more about it. So the pizza dough you can use for normal pizza bases, you know, cut it into 4, 6 pizzas, mini pizzas, whatever you want to do with it, just roll it out and put your toppings on and cook, not a problem. You can make calzones with it, entirely up to you what you want to do with this dough. It's very, very flexible, but like I said, we prefer to use it for pizza muffins today. So it's been proven for about an hour. Let's have a look.
So guys, this is the reveal of our pizza dough.
Look at the size of that. It's definitely brown. Doubled in size, isn't it? Without a shadow of a doubt. Right, so we need to knock this dough back. So do you want to give it a punch?
Yeah.
Hurry up, go. Now, George, have a go. Look at that. Right, so we're knocking that air back out of the dough. And then we are going to flour our surface gently. Not too much flour. So just spread it on there. Now, one thing I will say about rolling pizza dough is it's pretty tough to start off with because it just wants to bounce back. But keep going with it and eventually it'll be perfect. But because we're making pizza muffins, we need to roll all of the dough out together because we're going to roll it all up, but you will see shortly.
Hi guys, the toppings you'll need for the pizza is some passata, any grated cheese you want, and we're using grated cheddar, and then you can add anything on top like pepperoni, ham, chicken, anything.
Vegetables, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And the thickness of your dough needs to be around about approximately about as thick as a £1 coin. So, Harriet's going to put the passata on and spread that out for us, and then George is going to do the cheese. It does, doesn't it? That is now spread out. So George is going to top it with cheese. You want a good amount of cheese on here to make it all stick together as well. So go on then, George.
Get handfuls. Don't put cheese on. Just spread it around.
Yes, you do. You've done it millions of times. Right. So the cheese is on. Like I said, we don't really have a recipe as such for how much cheese you want on there. Passata, again, it's totally up to you. This is a bit where it gets a little bit messy. So just you want to leave a little bit of the edge free so you can obviously not get too sticky. Fold it over to get your roll going, and then it's just a case of as you go along rolling and lifting. So when you get to the end, you move it back. You want to just start nipping it together. Kids, do you want to nip it all together for me, please? Right, so we've lightly oiled our muffin tins, and all we're going to do now to get the best results from this is you need to look for about halfway. What do you reckon, kids? Is that about halfway?
Maybe a bit there.
So you said that, right, we'll go in the middle then. So we've just cut it in half and half again, and now we're cutting these last bit because we've got 12, we're going to cut them into thirds. So, and then we'll just lift them up into your muffin tray. Right, so they're in the trays, aren't they? Looking good. So we're going to prove these again now for about 40 minutes. While our muffins are beeping away there, they're ready to come out of the oven. So I'll take them out. I'll preheat the oven for these about 220. Keep that going while they're proving, so that obviously once they go into the oven, it can rise straight up off the top. So the pizza muffins are all proved for the second proof. They've puffed up a little bit. So all we're going to do now is pop them in the preheated oven that you preheated to 220 for about 20 to 25 minutes. And so these have just come out of the oven. Kids have done really well. So I think it's been a very productive day again. Another good video, kids.
Yeah.
We've got gorgeous cheese and tomato margherita, pizza muffins, and some.
In the tin.
haven't they just have exploded? And then our gorgeous chocolate chip muffins.
So guys,
Freddie made the best.
Is that right? Go on then.
So also guys, like and subscribe. But also we have made an extra video, and if you haven't saw that, just click on our channel and go and check that one out.
It's a bake-off between us all.
It was our very first video, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So now they're all going to tuck in to a nice chocky muffin.
Thank you.
It's not amazing.
Have a bite then, kids. What do they taste like?
That's it. We already tasted the chocolate.
Nice. You've done a very good job. I'm very impressed. Well done. So see you all next time.
Bye guys.
Bye.